Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I've got a video that's going to discuss what debanking is and why it's so important and why you need to start right now. So something that I've noticed has been very interesting in the Bitcoin community that's changed over time is that I guess the die-hard fanatics of the ideology of Bitcoin, it's been diluting over time since the inception of Bitcoin. So originally, the people that were most into Bitcoin were people that were primarily ideologically motivated in what Bitcoin could do as a utility and how it could be a replacement for the current financial system. But of course, as the price continued to go up, it attracted more and more tourists, as I like to call them. Now, to be fair, we're all tourists at one stage or another. I got into crypto not even for Bitcoin, but simply because I liked shitcoining. And although I was into other things like gold and silver and Austrian economics, I liked the idea of Bitcoin, but the thing that attracted me at first was a line go up. So I can't blame you if you're listening to this video and you got into Bitcoin that way. But I want to make a point about over time, as Bitcoin has gone on, Bitcoin has become primarily a vehicle of speculation. And this isn't going to be a channel or a video that's going to decry why it's wrong to make money, because the thing is, if you hold Bitcoin, you will make money against fiat. However, I want to bring people's attention back to what Bitcoin was originally meant for, and that was becoming a replacement for the current financial system that we have. Now, most people in crypto, even if you're of the shitcoin variety of users, most people understand that the general idea of why Bitcoin goes up is because the state of the financial system that we live in, we can call it Ponzi-nomics, that's a word that I like to use, is that it's going down. It's the system is in a collapse. It might be a fast collapse, it might be a slow collapse. I'm not in the business of picking tops and bottoms and when this entire system is going to go belly up. That's going to be, a video for another time. But most people get the idea that things are on the decline in the world of fiat. And if you just look at history, fiat money is always doomed at some stage because it's not backed by anything, and when it's being printed out of nothing by irresponsible governments and people who are irresponsibly in charge of our financial system, it never ends well, and you cannot find a time in history in which this Keynesian system of finance has a long-lasting effect that it ultimately doesn't have disastrous consequences. So we know that this is ultimately on the way out, and this is where Bitcoin comes in. So the point of using Bitcoin is to create an alternative parallel economic slash financial system that acts independently of any centralized financial institution, aka banks, whether that's commercial or central banks, and governments, right? It's essentially impossible to corner the market in order to be able to coerce people into doing whatever power wants with your money, right? Which is the system that we have now. And I want to make this point before I get into the meat and potatoes of this video. I want to make this point just very loud and clear. You don't own your own money, right? That is the current system that we live in. If you save your money, it's being constantly debased by money printing. And also when you put it into the bank, they are the custodians of their money, of your money. They can do whatever they want with it. Essentially, when you're giving money to a bank, you're giving them an uncollateralized loan. So if that bank goes belly up, basically it's very unlikely that you will get your money back, especially if this is a widespread systematic thing. You basically don't have control of whether you'll even have your money. Saving money is now a very very precarious thing, and I think in the modern Western world, it seems very improbable that you could put your money in the bank and lose it all. However, don't just look at the West, look at every other country, right? So the West is just a small piece of the pie in the total world. Most countries have banking crises. Most countries are unstable. And we very much take for granted the stability that allows our banking system to be as stable as it is. But ultimately, it's based on trust, right? And that trust is being eroded over time. And it's been eroded for a very long time. The central banks have had as much power as they've had, for well over 100 years, right? I think maybe the difference is that people are just waking up to it, but the the scam hasn't stopped, right? So what I want to talk about in this video is the fact that there is a solution. That solution is Bitcoin, but this isn't just going to be a video, or my channel is not dedicated just to getting people to buy Bitcoin. There's a million channels that are about just buying Bitcoin. What I want to talk about in this video and also in this channel and as a whole is about how to use your Bitcoin to actually debank, right? So the problem is within our community is that we're waiting for this prophesized day, the prophesized day that Satoshi prophesized in the prophecy, where one day you can buy Bitcoin, you can buy a latte with Bitcoin, and we're going to have a day of total Bitcoin adoption. Every single currency, so every single government will accept Bitcoin as legal tender, and you can do whatever you want with it, right? Now the thing is, that day may happen, but it's useless to wait till that day, because the reality is you can already do this kind of thing if you're motivated to learn exactly how to do it. So I've spent a lot of time learning how to do the things that will allow you to replace all your financial activities with Bitcoin. It just requires education. That's a lot of what my channel is about, although I do talk about other just general crypto related things. A lot of the focus of my channel is how to do debanking activities. That's everything from and I want to describe exactly what debanking is. Custodying, being the custodian of your own funds, right? So aka not having your funds in a bank and not even having your funds on a centralized exchange. That's number one. You've got to actually control your funds, which is usually going to require you having a hardware wallet and putting your funds in cold storage. The second is ensuring all your wealth is privately owned and it's totally anonymous. It should be very unclear about how much money you have. That should be something that only you should know. There's a saying in Chinese, you should wear your silks on the inside. That means you should keep your wealth private, right? You don't, I mean, some people, maybe they want to be like these Instagram influencers and flex their wealth. I think smart, intelligent people in this day and age should keep all the wealth private. And if that's something you want to do, I think it's something you have a right to do. And I think this is very important to debanking. Number three is making money in crypto, right? So if you've got a job, if you've got clients, if you're a freelancer, a contractor, if you run a business, you should ultimately aiming to receive your payments in cryptocurrency. And there's many different ways of doing this. And I've talked about in other videos that this is not some kind of out there scenario. When you propose to your clients or whoever you're dealing with to pay you in crypto, you'd be surprised how frequently they're going to be relieved to hear that, because there's so many advantages for them, right? Now, one of the advantages is just simply, let's just say you're accepting funds. Let's just say you got a little Shopify store, right? You could receive funds by PayPal, right? But you have to charge more money for the most part because PayPal charges fees, right? And you usually add that into the cost of your product. Well, if you were charging crypto, if you were receiving funds in crypto, you could get rid of that 3 or 4% fee you would have to add on to the cost of your goods. So the cost of goods would actually be cheaper. So you could have an option to, like, you could receive funds in PayPal, which is going to be more expensive, or you can offer a crypto option where they would get a discount. Who isn't going to go with the discount, right? And the other thing is if you're going to receive, let's just say you've got overseas clients, right? They can send you a Swift bank transfer, which could be upwards of 6%, and that's not including the Forex fee. Or they could just send you funds in crypto, right? And there's all these other things you can do where, let's just say you've got some boomer boss who doesn't understand cryptocurrency at all. There are all kinds of tips and tricks that you can use to receive his funds in crypto, right? So one is that I talk about on my channel is setting up a third-party payment system where you go into a P2P cryptocurrency exchange, you open up a trade with a seller, maybe it's by a bank transfer, then you get your boss to send funds to the seller and the seller releases the funds, the crypto to you. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it, there's a lot of different services in a lot of different countries that will essentially allow you to receive your salary in crypto, right? So there's one I'm looking at called btcdirect.eu. I'm not affiliated. This is not a referral link or anything like that. And basically you sign up to this website and you basically have it so, when you give your boss your payment information to receive your monthly or weekly salary, they will, this company, this website, they will receive the funds on your behalf. Then they'll send funds directly to your cryptocurrency wallet. And then that's a way that you can receive your funds in crypto. And I discovered first this service in Australia, it's not the same website, of course, but pretty much every major developed country has a service like this right now. You can accept your salary directly in Bitcoin, right? So it's really important for you to start thinking about how to receive funds in Bitcoin or any crypto. And the last one is the most important, and that's learning how to spend your money in crypto. And that's something that I've really become very good at. So there's a number of different things you can do. Once you're receiving funds in crypto, then you've got to figure out how to spend it. And what you can do is you can go to websites, again, referral links in the description down below. You can use websites like Bitrefill. So you can go buy gift cards on this website for pretty much any store that you want. Anything that you want to buy, you could probably buy online, and there's a gift card for it. But also brick and mortar stores, like a lot of shopping malls, grocery stores, supermarket chains, they have their own gift cards, and this is, again, applies to every country. And of course, the big one is Amazon. Like, you can buy anything you want on Amazon. If you could turn your Bitcoin into an Amazon gift card, you could then buy groceries, you can buy food, you can buy whatever you want. So you can buy things, and if you go to peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchanges, which is something I'm very fond of, again, you can use my referral links in the description down below for this. It's something I'm always talking about in my channel. I'm always going on about peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchanges, because when you are dealing on these exchanges, sellers can accept basically any payment method that their creativity will allow. You can have someone pay your grocery bill, so your electric bills, right, in exchange for crypto. You can buy airline tickets, right, or airline gift cards with Bitcoin. You could buy practically anything you want. You could buy gold with Bitcoin, right? You could buy cash with Bitcoin. You can do all these kinds of things on peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchanges. So I suggest you go onto these peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchanges. One's called Local CoinSwap, another's called HODL HODL. There's another called Noons. Again, you can use all my referral links in the description down below and get familiar with them and see exactly what kinds of things you can do with Bitcoin. On a centralized exchange like Binance, Bybit, you can't do any of these things, right? It's just bank transfer and that's it. You can buy on the spot exchange, right? But if you go to a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchange, there are so many different things you can do. You can sell your Bitcoin for practically anything, right? So with what I've basically set up for you is a closed loop, right? You're receiving funds in crypto and then you're spending it in crypto. And then that's basically all you need to debank. The other things are very important as well, making sure it's anonymous and making sure that you actually own your own funds and it's not because you're the custodian of it. These are all the things that are required for debanking. Now, another thing that's also very important is just making sure you don't KYC as well. I think that's a very important part of it, because if you KYC, that helps to de-anonymize your cryptocurrency usage. So if you're interested in buying cryptocurrency without KYC, you can use my referral links in the description down below for peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchanges, because not only can you buy and sell cryptocurrency via a number of different payment methods without KYC, it's also going to allow you to buy different things, like I mentioned online. Like you can buy gift cards, any gift card you want, and that'll allow you to buy real life things like food or whatever you want with crypto. So make sure to use my referral links in the description down below with that. And yeah, so this is the essence of debanking. I think everyone needs to start focusing on an escape plan. This is basically your way of getting off the grid, financially speaking. It's not enough to just have Bitcoin. It's not enough to buy Bitcoin in the hopes that it's just going to go up in value and you can race against the what's happening with inflation. I understand that it's very important to beat inflation, but I think that the store of value narrative has become too prominent within the crypto community. I don't think this is the most important value and trait that Bitcoin has. The most important aspect of Bitcoin is becoming an alternative parallel system, and you've got to take full advantage of it before it's too late, because you never know if you've got your funds on Binance and then all of a sudden the banks go under and then Binance takes your funds down with it, right? You don't know if there's a systemic collapse in the world and all you've got is Bitcoin, but you don't know how to spend it, right? You're Bitcoin rich, but you don't have any food. You don't know how to do it. You've got to find ways to do it, right? And get in touch with people in the Bitcoin community as well. You'd be surprised if you go to your local Bitcoin meetups, you'd be surprised how many other people are out there that have very similar kinds of beliefs and want to do these kinds of transactions. So another part of this as well that I'm going to end on this is that having close contacts with other people with a similar kind of mindset is very valuable as well. Because if shit hits the fan, it would be really valuable if you knew someone who, was like a farmer, and you knew where you could buy locally produced beef with Bitcoin, right? So in Australia, I know some people where if shit hits the fan, I can go and buy Bitcoin. I can go and buy beef from them with Bitcoin, right? Go and establish these connections with other people. Like you can have other things, right? Maybe you find someone who's you can possibly do business with. Maybe you meet him at a crypto meetup and you can say, hey, let's settle this transaction in Bitcoin. So a big part of this is go and connect with other people. The more people you connect with, the more people that you add on Telegram, the bigger the network you have, the larger amount of utility that you can get out of your Bitcoin. Ultimately, because you can find people who have a very similar mindset to you and are trying to achieve the same goal, which is ultimately using their crypto for what it was meant for, which is to debank and to be a decentralized form of payment, which is what Lord Satoshi had intended. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you like this kind of video, make sure to subscribe to my channel and check out my referral links in the description down below if you're interested, and I'll see you later.